If we look at what we were talking about with the cantillon effect, and if he knows the global elites are trying to destroy the banking system by pushing negative interest rates, obviously Buffett wants nothing to do with that.
Anyway, we're going to talk about this thing called the cantillon effect. Would you explain what that is?
Yeah, so the cantillon effect is when governments or central banks print money, it doesn't go to everyone in the population equally. It goes to the insiders, the political insiders.
Amen.
So who would be the political insiders today?
Clintons. The Clintons, it would be the individuals at the World Economic Forum. So if you watch any of their videos, they've got this whole big push for a great reset,
Yes.
where they're calling COVID a quote-unquote opportunity. Those are their words, not mine.
That's what Jane Fonda said last night.
What's that?
Jane Fonda said this is an opportunity. COVID was the best thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah, that's their.
Because now the left can get in and blow out the capitalists.
Yeah, that's basically their push. But these are the insiders that are buddy-buddy with the people, the central bankers, who are printing the money. They're closest to it. So they get it, and it hasn't got out into the economy to create inflation in either consumer prices or assets. So their purchasing power, they get the maximum benefit from this money printing, where by the time it gets down to the average Joe, if it ever does, prices have gone up so much that their purchasing power is less than it was before they printed the money in the first place.
Would you agree there's two things that happen? Is that when it's called crony capitalism?
Absolutely. Yeah, and
So
corporatism.
You get all this money, CEOs get it, they buy back the shares of their stock, which is
That's right.
a horrifying thing. But meanwhile, so the asset prices go up.
Yeah.
Like mom and pop or the homeless on the street,
Yeah.
their consumer price index goes up.
Yeah, that can happen. Or if they do buy assets, they're buying at the top, and the people selling are the insiders that had the money in the first place. They're
I love this
selling.
game.
They're selling
love
all
this
the way
game.
up, right? So, in my opinion, and I'm not saying that the quote unquote insiders that we talked about, that group of people, are actually doing this. But if you think about their incentive structure, they would be incentivized for the economy to do poorly and for the economy to actually collapse. They would be incentivized to promote things such as negative interest rates, because what that does is that destroys the banking system or the economy. The more the economy is destroyed, the more money printing the central banks will do, therefore the richer the insiders get.
Which explains why the stock market keeps going up, 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 even though people have lost jobs, businesses have shut down, the economy is in the toilet, but the stock market still does great.
Yeah, Kim, I had a great chart the other day in one of my videos where I showed the Buffett indicator. And if you guys don't know, that's the market cap of the stock market compared to GDP, right? And the only time that GDP has ticked down was back in 2008, the GFC in this chart I had. And it went down just slightly, but of course the stock market went down by 50%. Now, it's the only time that I've ever seen in history where GDP has collapsed, but the stock market has skyrocketed.
Right.
It's gone the complete opposite direction. So there is no relationship whatsoever between the stock market and the real economy right now.
I like this. This is great time, man. Anyway, we're really honored to have you here, George. It's fantastic. Quick question: why did Buffett sell his bank shares? Jim Rickards just interviewed him, and that was my question. Why is he buying gold? Why is he selling bank shares?
Well, if we really want to go down that rabbit hole, if we look at what we were talking about with the cantillon effect, and if he knows the global elites are trying to destroy the banking system by pushing negative interest rates, obviously Buffett wants nothing to do with that.
What do you see the future of banking being?
But, well, I think there's a lot, it's all a game of probabilities. There's no certainties. But I think one probability could be if they start to ban cash, which I think they will, then if you look at the Banking for All Act, that's basically where we have accounts with the Federal Reserve. If we, the people, all have accounts with the Fed, then there's really no need for the banking system. There is no banking system. There is only one central bank. That's it. And so if we kind of take it to its logical conclusion, if the Fed has a balance sheet where where basically they can take an infinite haircut. What that means is if the Fed loans you money and you don't pay it back, it doesn't matter. They don't have a profit and loss. So they can start to distribute money. I mean, you want to talk about the cantillon effect. They can start to distribute it not to whomever they want, but how they want. So instead of giving you a mortgage based on your credit score or your ability to repay the loan, they can do it based on your social score. So if you're not part of...
Did you wear your mask today? Do you have a vaccine shot?
Exactly.
Did you cross the street?
That's right.
Did you bow?
I'm screwed.
You got it.
So
I'm going into hiding.
They're talking about a crypto dollar.
Yeah, basically, it's like a digital.
Thing?
Yeah, it's a digital dollar. So let's think about this. We all have a bank account. We'll just say B of A, Wells Fargo, whatever, and you get your bank statements every single month, and then you reconcile that with QuickBooks or whatever. So now, if we had a bank account with the Fed, then the Federal Reserve or the government would see every single one of your transactions, especially if there was no cash whatsoever, right? So then every transaction had to go through the Fed or the government. So the amount of power that this would give them is basically unlimited.